Losing Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake is now delivering on her promise to fight in court for the election in Arizona. She's now suing the state's election officials, challenging both the ballot counting in Maricopa County, Arizona, and its eventual certification of the midterm election, which declared her opponent, Democratic Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, the winner. The suit claims that, quote, the election day debacle precludes the defendants in this action from certifying Hobbs as the winner of the election. In addition to a group of election officials Lake mentions as defendants in the complaint, she's suing Hobbs herself, who is now the governor-elect. She's also suing Republican Bill Gates, the face of vote counting in Maricopa County on election night and beyond, and who eventually had to be moved to a secret and secure location as a result of threats. The 70-page complaint filed in Maricopa County Superior Court alleges technical problems, claiming that thousands of illegal votes were cast. Lake asks the court for an order, quote, declaring that Kari Lake is the winner of the 2022 Arizona gubernatorial election. But seemingly, she would also settle for the midterm election results being completely thrown out and requiring Maricopa, by far the state's most populous, to conduct an entirely new election. Lake lost the race for governor to Hobbs by more than 17,000 votes. You have to give Lake credit, though, for intellectual consistency. In October, she would not commit to accepting the results.
My question is, will you accept the results of your election in November?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result.
If you lose, will you accept that?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result, because the people of Arizona will never support and vote for a coward like Katie Hobbs.
They did vote for Katie Hobbs, and since Lake put it out there that she'd only accept the results if she won, it doesn't exactly help her credibility now that she's declaring that the election was problematic. Katie Hobbs' camp, who calls this a Lake effort, desperate to, they say it's an effort to undermine our democracy, tweeted out a statement that reads, in part, Arizonans made their voices heard and elected Katie Hobbs as their governor. No nuisance lawsuit will change that. We remain laser focused on getting ready to hit the ground running on day one of Katie Hobbs' administration next year. But what happens now? This is a formal election challenge in court. And yes, it's filled with some half-truths and unsupported allegations, but I have always said that I will take seriously any formal legal challenges. So joining us now is Arizona-based election law attorney Jacqueline Mendez Soto. Thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so is there any element to this lawsuit where Kari Lake has a shot, even a part of it?
No, she does not. First of all, as you pointed out, she has to come in with her proof, right? There is a hearing set for tomorrow. It is an order to show cause hearing. I'm not involved in that case, so I do not know in exactly what how the length of the hearing that is going to be held for tomorrow. But assuming that this is an evidentiary hearing already, she has to come in with her proof to support her claims, right? That tens and thousands of votes were cast in her favor. But not only that, more importantly, what she has to show, which her complaint fails to allege, is that there was a flaw with the process and procedures, and more than a flaw, it has to be an unfairness. She's bringing claims under equal protection and due process, and to support claims like that, there has to be she has to point to rules and policies that were unfair, that were arbitrary, and her complaint fails to do any of that. Her complaint just simply says that there were voter irregularities at the polls, and which is not sufficient to support such a contest.
Everyone agrees that Maricopa County had some problems, but in every election there are potential problems. And, you know, for example, in Nevada, you had the Democrat there running for Senate who wanted the polls extended because of problems they were having in Las Vegas. Court said no. Here, Kari Lake challenged during the election night day to say, hey, I'd like more time, et cetera, because of problems. Courts have to rule on that. And so for her to succeed in any part of this lawsuit, she's not going to just have to show that there were problems. She's going to have to show that specifically what? She was targeted? What's the standard?
Well, the standard is that the county, because she's only suing Maricopa County, that the county implemented a policy for voting that was arbitrary, that violated people's equal protection and due process rights. She cannot point to any policy. The election was held according to the law and according to elections procedures, and unable to point to those policies, she has not met that standard.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.